Welcome back to PCM Yeti, episode 111. We are still at the tour, finding ourselves in the surprise of second place, so GC is very much back on. This is an opportunity, not necessarily for a stage, but it's more of a GC opportunity. And with that, we're going to begin what is a long trip towards the finish line. Just a 3-rider breakaway today, and they're already falling apart and just ahead of us. Harasim leads us out with a -5 draw for him. Abdullah's got like a -2 or -3 draw. Harasim's already starting to fall into the trap of a poor recovery and still having a fair amount of tour left. I mean, it's only stage 12. But anyway, we are entering a crosswinds zone. And I wanted to, if we can, get in a position here to start blowing the field up. Early in this race, we caught a number of contenders out and ended up with a very small finish that we came close to winning. I mean, we podiumed. So we are going to be a little more aggressive with this one here as the breakaway has been caught and the field decides to let up, but I'm not letting up. It's 35k to go. So on to Abdullah. I want Harasim to still have another shot at this. So we'll put him behind Zayat and give these guys a kind of a rotation here and push on pretty quick. We're almost halfway through this, so by all means, while we have not split the field yet, surprisingly actually, I still think that there's a big opportunity here to see a much smaller group, and I don't think it's going to be 10 riders dropping off the back kind of thing. As soon as you do get out of the zone, as Abdullah he's not recovering here. Let's get Haddad back on it. And of course we do get a little split, but it's our front 3 guys. Oh, Harasim's totally out of energy. Gosh. Get out of there. Shaw! The little hill right after the zone is another opportunity to make things difficult. Panamar and Zayats are not going to go on and win this stage, so never mind being the ones that are going to chase this thing down, but Zayats can now get things moving. And we're coming out of the zone with everything kind of still intact. Abdullah come back up the line here. Gel. Okay, here comes the hill. Zayat's done. Shaw will be done soon. These guys are going to go to the back. If we can get another usage out of them, great. If not, so be it. Montez. That's Abdullah and Harasim done. There goes Haddad, Vatsek, and Montez have gone clear. Pause. The hill has caused the separation, and Haddad is not going to make it. 12.4k. 20 seconds ahead. We've hit the top of the hill. Montez still doing the work, setting up Vatsek for the final run in. You got a little bit of a descent here, so it's going to happen pretty quick. And we're out to 25 seconds. Montez can hit the base. We can take this little descent, and then Vatsek can just attack and go flat out to the finish line. He'll have the yellow to make it, and that's it for Montez. On to Vatsek. 6k. Oh, come on. That's not contact. That's not contact. No freaking way. Sheffield, Brenner. Now there's 2. Gregoire is with me. And they're back in contact. 3k. He's just got to keep sprinting for the line just to try to at least still be in the group. They're going to catch him. He's not going to win the stage. Did not pan out. 1k. Oh, we're seeing a separation otherwise. These guys, all the sprinters, probably not going to lead to any time gaps as it all happened in the last few hundred meters. That's like out of energy. Didn't quite make line. Milan wins the stage. We did not blow things up. We did not gain time, but it was a fun try. Yeah, same time given across the board all the way down to 160th. Harasim, the only one for us that lost any time today, so Vacek remains in second place through 12 stages. Stage 14, stage 14, and this is probably our last best chance at a fourth stage victory of this tour. It's already been successful, even if it remains at 3. But for this one, you've got a punchy situation just before you go into a finishing really descent and gradual downhill. So it's one of those things where if you could really shrink the group down to the final 30 riders or so, and Vacek is there and has somebody left to lead him out, you've got a real shot to win a sprint on the way to that finish. So I really don't want the breakaway to succeed. For now, there's 17. There's a couple others in no man's land, and the best defense against a breakaway victory is to put somebody in the breakaway, because having one of your own riders there on this difficulty level, as that's going to involve a little bit of effort to get back up there, but it's amazing how much ground they make in like 800 meters just attacking, and 16 riders all decide that they want 2 points. It just makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. There should have been 2 to 3 guys going for that and then sitting up right at the top. Or, 3 guys to chase down with 14 to chase them down. Not 16 guys attacking. Anyway. 120k left to go. Plenty of time in the stage. Harasim needs to recover. Anyway, I have zero intention of working for Harasim. I don't want this group to succeed. I want this group to fail. And so Harasim is there to ensure that it doesn't. On the expert difficulty level, it's you versus the entire AI. We saw that on the last stage. If that was an AI rider, or 2, 3 riders that had escaped, they would have won that stage. They would have won that stage comfortably. They would have finished 2 minutes ahead. The only thing that stops them from finishing 2 minutes ahead or 3 minutes ahead is you. Because the AI is more than happy to have one of their own go on and take victory. But they are not happy to have you go on and take victory. And so they will work together and chase down, and did so successfully. But we didn't lose any time. It was fine. It just would have been nice to actually, break things up and split it off a little bit, which just did not happen. But as we head into this next climb, Harasim is actually struggling. He is not recovering at all. And I would imagine that means a lot of the riders here within the group, we're going to see, there you go. There's already one going out the back before we've even begun climbing. So I have a feeling that it's going to finish with 5 or 6 guys at the top of this one. But the 3.5 minutes that they're ahead right now is probably going to be a lot less. I don't think Harasim is going to make it, though, through that. Let's put in a little more effort for this Cat 2 coming up. It's one of the most important climbs of the day. 3.5k to go to the top. Harasim, we will have to do the attack to follow at the end of this thing. We've got to get some recovery over the top if possible. 2.5k. They're really not pushing that hard. We're down to 15 though. I'm surprised it hasn't decreased by more. I want to try to make my way forward, not to do anything. I just want to be in position for when the inevitable attack comes. And now we are. And here comes the attack. And now we respond. And we're in the group. Okay, down to 14. Sitting on. Trying to recover. Okay, everybody else has also crested. Everybody's still there. They are recovering as well. Okay, increase the effort a little bit as we're starting to flatten out. But keep that heart rate nice and low until we get into the next climb. And they're only 3:30 ahead and the group is thinning, so yeah, things are really, really good on the... We don't want the breakaway to succeed today. And Harasim is doing just fine on his role of being a disruptor. And the rest of the team is back to full strength, except Abdullah, who's at like 98%. And he's on -3. He's not going to be much of a factor today. But higher tempo this time. And Harasim gets dropped. He's just not a very good climber. Speeding up is only going to hurt things. But we did conserve some energy, right? He's got a chance here. There's still 13. Is that... No, that was breakaway rider going back. Those guys are doing fine. It's going to be fairly flat from there and setting them up for kind of the final climb to come. The main point, though, was that there's only a 345 advantage. It's very unlikely that the breakaway is going to win things today, and letting Harasim kind of rest is not going to do anything, as there's Andrew August going backwards. And we'll just sit on with him until they end up back in the group. Speaking of back in the group, 25 riders got split off, including Shaw. That takes out his chance of a sprint. We're going to be focusing on Vadzek, put them on. Winning the stage definitely is more difficult if Harasim and Shaw are both out the back. However, we are focused more on GC at this point and less on getting additional stages. And it is what it is. If the sprinters go out the back, the sprinters go out the back. Final 11 up front and down to 245 and 100 just over chasing. Harasim is about to get dropped. Ponamar is not going to last much longer, but we've got a descent coming. So we will get a chance for them to recover and still be involved. You got one little hill on the way, but otherwise it's a gradual descent. And then that Cat 2. That Cat 2 is going to be the decisive one. And we get a little split. Oh, I like that. Down to 80. 40K. Let's get Ponamar on the water task. So that's done for the day. Now 95. High tempo. We're losing riders one by one by one. Abdullah going backwards. Harasim is starting to go backwards. Let's put them both on auto and get them out of the way. That means Vadzek is no longer protected. Let's protect our leader. And then we've got Montez and Haddad. There's the little hill out of the way, down to 82. The 11 at the front, they've lost another minute. It's going to come down pretty quick on the upcoming climb. However, you never know. There might be one or two or three riders that could hang on to the little bit of a gap that they have. But we're going to want to get organized just before the hill here. It's only 4 guys, and Ponamar needs to gel up. The high tempo remains. We've got 8K to the top of the climb, and Ponamar is not going to be there for it. It's going to be 3 riders. So I'm waiting a little bit longer to get organized than I would have otherwise, being that I'm down to 3 guys. But let's get Vadzek, and we want to be led out by Montez. Montez is in the stronger position for... oh, no. Dad is the one in the stronger position for the under 25s. I don't think it matters. Alright. We have a very good medium mountain rating, so we're going to use it here very soon, but let's wait until we are climbing, and there we go. Phillipson pushing on, but Haddad offsetting him. Montez and Vadzek are handling it just fine as Sobrero's brought back. Now just 10 left off the front, and the peloton's already lost another 10 riders or so. Phillipson does get a little bit of separation there, as Montez and Vadzek are struggling to keep up with the pace. Now it's down to 54. More riders being brought back. 2.5K from the top. Haddad out of red bar, and we catch the breakaway, and suddenly we're down to 30 or 40 riders. 38 riders, 1.7. Okay, give me a not. Wait. I don't know. Do I want a 99? Montez, lead out Vadzek. Aren't you leading the... Yeah, leading the KOM, Haddad. Let's follow. Ponamar, since I'm on pause, let's get you on auto. Whoa. Montez. That's it. Goes through first. There you go. Gets maximum points. It's only a Cat 2. We're not so worried about KOM, but I'll take the points if I can get them. And I'll take a little separation right now. We split off. That is separation with a response by Vinter. And Vadzek will sit up. He's not going to stay away. Too far. Too much required. Let them come back. It's down to 33 riders. Montez now can go back into leading out. But do I want Haddad instead? I do want Haddad instead, but Haddad is quite tired and I don't want him getting beat up. But we've got a lead out. Vatsek's still got a chance on the stage. And he's got a much better chance by sitting up, letting that 10 seconds come back than he does by attacking. He's actually getting a little recovery right now. I do not like that Haddad has suddenly gone towards the back of this thing, though. 10K. Okay, getting a little bit of recovery now, which I think is necessary for each of them. But now Haddad, now that we have a little bit of recovery, now he can push on for a little bit. Get a gel for Montez in a moment as we enter the flat. And now we can put the group under pressure that they would not get if we were not leading out. But Haddad, I want to see him reach the finish without getting dropped. So he's only going to push on here for a little bit as we switch to Montez. Haddad goes to the rear. He doesn't have much left. He might get dropped. It's a risk I'm willing to take. Vatsek, okay, speeding up 3.4K on to full 99 effort for 3K. Montez leading out Vatsek. We will start sprinting Montez at about 1.5K. There we go. And he gets the lead out for Vatsek. Vatsek pushes on. He's certainly at the front for now, but can he hang on? Malesi is coming pretty fast, but Vatsek gets win number 4. Hell yeah. Vatsek with the win. Montez is still there in the small group. Haddad might still be there. He could lose 10 seconds, 15 seconds here, but not necessarily. He's celebrating the team victory. Oh no, new rules. Gosh, that would be illegal soon. Actually, he's got nobody in line with him. Montez can't celebrate. Haddad can. With the new rules out there that you can literally get fined and relegated if you celebrate because it could cause a crash. Like, when does that ever cause a crash? Has it? I think it might have happened once or twice, like ever. Let him celebrate. Why do we care about that? Vatsek wins, though. Vatsek wins. He's going to gain 10 seconds. He's going to gain 6 seconds. But reality is we're not really racing Pogacar. Pogacar is too freaking good, especially with the mountains to come. But Pogacar's got this race wrapped up. He is going to win overall. The big question is, can we do anything to keep Vatsek anywhere near that podium? I think a top 5 feels pretty dang certain. We're 2/3 of the way through this race. There's a lot of mountains to come, though. There's a lot of mountains to come. And Vatsek could be falling off that fitness peak at some point. That being said, gaining 10 seconds over everybody else right now is a very good thing. All right, we've only got 3 countries left to spin. They're all good ones. Let's just get it done. Switzerland, quite comfortably. Yeah, it's right down the middle. Switzerland, a 7-4 nation. Added to the pool. 33 riders on same time. And there are contenders. There are GC guys that did not make the group of 33. Mainly Richard Carapaz losing a ton of time. Goes from podium, 3rd place, down to 10th at just under 10 minutes behind. And that seems to now be the gap, right? Pogacar comfortably leading this thing, and Vatsek is not a contender against Pogacar, especially now that he's got us, he's got our number. We're 2nd. 3 minutes behind, inside now, right? Gained 6 over Pogacar from 304 up to 258, but Gregoire's next. 7 minutes down, and then 710, 723, 734, 746, 848 a little bit further back, 919, 955. And then it jumps to 11.5. And I'm very confident that 11 minutes, Vatsek's not going to lose 8.5 minutes. So hopefully, right? That fitness peak ends on, say, stage 18 or stage 19. That fitness peak is done at that point, and the recovery is not there. He could see a negative race day condition. He could see a really bad day in the mountains. It could happen. So I won't completely rule out that he could really blow up, but we can throw our entire team at trying to preserve and minimize time losses. I will play it that way. We will, but I mean, holy crap, we're on the podium 2/3 of the way through this Tour de France after he lost 9.5 minutes on stage one. Like, how in the world did we get here? Obviously, we know how we got here, but you wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't expect it. You wouldn't. That's the funny thing. You kind of do expect it these days. It's how these Grand Tours play out of late. The problem, the mistake from UAE was not giving the lead to Vatsek, and then they go and, attack him in the mountains and blow him up and cause him to lose a bunch of time. We've seen this multiple times recently, where a rider of B tier quality, that's it, definition right there, 75, 77, 76, that's a good rider, but Pogacar's not going to respect Vatsek. And most of the peloton is not going to respect Vatsek. He's a good rider. He's not really top 10 quality. Not really. No. No, you wouldn't bat an eyelash at him being a threat. Now, we're finding a way to be threatening, okay? But you wouldn't bat an eyelash. You would not consider him a threat. Therefore, perfect scenario that we see play out time and time again is Pogacar wins stage one. Pogacar wears the jersey. He doesn't want to wear the jersey for 21 stages. UAE does not want to spend the next 20 stages controlling the race. They want to control the race the final week. They want to conserve energy for the 2 weeks prior. They want to hand the jersey off to somebody else. What better way to do that than to take an early stage, allow the breakaway to take the victory, and allow some B-tier guy to take the jersey over temporarily. Force their team to take control and defend it. They didn't expect to be in that situation. They get extra exposure. Their sponsors are happy. They bury themselves protecting the jersey. The rider can't handle the mountains, loses a bunch of time, hands the jersey back over. Your lead team, your Visma, your UAE, your Ineos, they get respite. They get a break. And then they take it back. That's exactly what happened here. That's how Vatsek got back into this race. But the problem is they didn't give him enough time. They put him on the podium. They didn't put him in the jersey. So now we're out there not having to do the work, not having to defend a jersey that we aren't equipped to handle. We have a no pressure situation and exactly 4 minutes ahead of the next rider. 4 minutes isn't a lot in the mountains. It's not a lot in the mountains, and we could easily lose that. But if we can keep getting +5s for those mountain stages, and if Haddad can actually start scoring some +5s on a mountain stage and not just on unimportant stages like he had today. I mean, today was an important stage, but for Haddad being our main support climber, it's the mountain stages where I need him to have those +5s, and he never does. He always has negative race day conditions on those. If Haddad can score, he's up to 19th, by the way. If he can score +5s, and others, if we can get a decent race day condition from the team, Vatsek gets +5, Haddad gets +5, or at least +4s, right? If we can have them at or near their maximum with some decent support climbers, there's no reason to think that we wouldn't only lose a minute or two at a time. We could stay on the podium for the next couple of days. If we could stay in second for the next couple of days, give us a very good chance of finishing this race on the podium, which is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, especially with how things started. We got a little lucky to be in the position we're in, but we've won 4 stages. We are taking the bull by the horns, and we have earned the situation we've gotten, other than the fact that Pogacar wanted to hand over the jersey, and we were the lucky fool to be in that situation. We were way down on time. I mean, we were outside of the top 80. Makes sense that they would want to hand it over to us. Really does. I just mentioned the importance of the draw, and today we pick up a -13. It's stage 15, and the draw is quite bad. Harasim, another -5 draw for him. Ponemar, the first to end a fitness peak, just ended after yesterday's stage. And this is a more manageable climbing stage. If we're going to pick up a minus 13, I'd rather have it on a stage like this. I think we can overcome it. I don't think it's guaranteed that we do overcome it, though. I think we could lose a small amount of time today as things are going. Also, I do feel this is a day for the breakaway, but with the race day condition draw that I saw, I felt I needed all hands on deck to support our leader for this one. And putting guys in the breakaway not only is going to be taking riders away, but also assuming that the breakaway does get a relatively comfortable victory, they're not going to be in position unless we really, really hold up a rider. But at the same time, focusing my attention in two different places, not great. We're only halfway up this climb, and we're already suffering pretty badly. And we're drifting. We are definitely drifting. 106 kilometers left. It is a shorter stage, but it's not a short stage. Panamar is about to be done. Montez up the effort. Haddad already has. 6 minutes to the front of the field, by the way. And they're all sorts of split up as well. We might be experiencing a lift in tempo, but Panamar, if he's going to be out, needs to be out. And is now. 111. What we need to do here at some stages, we need to get water. Zayats is too tired to do it. Abdullah is not. Let's go ahead and send Abdullah. And now seems a good time to do it before we reach the top. He won't have to drop back too far as everybody's up front. Recovery is good. Vatsek and Haddad fully recovered. Montez now fully recovered. Abdullah on his way to being fully recovered. Might not get there. Zayats very much will not. It's 111. There's now 8 at the front with 2 in no man's land in between, and the gap is down at 5:15. Here is the pivotal section of this race, though, because there's enough recovery to handle the final climb if you can handle this double. This double being the important part. For now, it's still kind of just flattening out. Not a big deal on what's happening, but Panamar, Harasim, and Shaw are gone, so we're already down 3 riders, and 111 is still a lot for us to already be missing 3 riders. Zayats did not get fully recovered. I'm hoping that there's a number of riders in this group that aren't fully recovered, so that we can see half the field dropped and only lose 1 rider in the mix for that one. Protect, Vatsek that bit longer. Sucks that they both picked up. Our 2 top guys picked up -2s. Peloton pace lifted a bit, so we caught the group ahead of us, but the group behind us regained contact. So we're back up to 104, as it had gotten down to about 80. Now it's down to 80 again. 5K to go to the first climb. Very quick descent. You'll get a heart rate drop, ounce of recovery, and then we start climbing very quickly again after that. For now, I'm interested in riding defensively, not offensively. Zayats is going to make it through this part, but he's not going to make it through the next part. Let's go ahead and get his gel going. Down to 53. 85 for Haddad. And Abdullah, give me a gel. Please last. Please, please, please last. I'd love to have 4 guys. Love to have 4 guys for the final climb, because then we can be an aggressor. If we only have 2, then that's not going to happen. But there goes Abdullah. Zayats, my bad. I didn't realize you were still on not on auto. Okay, so Abdullah out the back. Kendra August out the back. That's a 78. Van Hoek, Onley, Arnsman, Globe, Van Aert. Ooh, Van Aert. Talk about old age drop in quality. Man. Sheffield. Our Prost. Montez going out the back. And no, oh, come on. They were both in contact just fine. Haddad. Okay, checking in. Haddad, Vatsek barely have anything left, but plenty of time to recover. Never mind who's there. Let's see who's here. Lindqvist is at the front of the field with Max Poole, who's 4th overall, and Rodriguez. And then there is the chase of 22 riders with all your favorites. Because a 76 downhill is all he has. Vatsek is recovering. Haddad is not recovering very well. Now it's 24 chasing 1, so nobody's off the front anymore except for Lindqvist. Haddad will sit up soon. He needs to recover if we're going to do anything on that last one, especially with only 2 guys. So Haddad, front position, sit up. I don't care about Lindqvist. We're going to save ourselves for the final climb, which is 6.9 kilometers, 7.8%. Max is 12.9, and it's in the first half. It's going to ease off. So we want Haddad definitely to handle that first part of the climb, and then Vatsek to handle what's after. Let's go ahead and also switch our position here and protect so we can get maximum recovery. 24 chasing 1. 10K to go from the top. We're almost there. We're almost to the base. Up to 39. Montez is here. Let's go. And there's the base. So now we have 3 guys for this. I'm happy for that. Montez, you're going to come forward. Haddad's going to follow. And Vatsek's going to follow that. Montez, let's go 99 for the moment because you are not all the way up to a front position just yet. And we got to fight through the crowd. Still trying to fight through the crowd, and we've found a gap. Haddad's found the gap, and there is Vatsek into the gap. That's also just red bar getting toasted. Already 5K from the top. Waiting for Vatsek to get in position before I accelerate with Montez, but others are accelerating. Haddad is out of red bar, but he's still in the no man's land in between Montez and Vatsek. So Vatsek still not really covering that gap. 2 riders escaping off the front, Evenepoel amongst them. This is now going to be about the descent and trying to win the stage that way because Montez, give me your 99. Haddad is almost there. He's a stronger climber, so he is actually covering that gap back down, and Vatsek is finally making his way forward. They'll get their red bar on the descent back. We're down to 35. Nobody's escaping right now. 16K to go overall. KOM would be nice, but never mind. Let's focus on the stage. Vatsek still leads KOM, by the way. He's got a 10-point advantage. And now we can 99 flat out, 13K. Down to 30. 30 in contention. Pool's still off the front. There's Haddad now in position, and there's Vatsek in position. Now these guys can kind of flat out attack and push on. Let's just hope that nobody crashes unless it's others, right? Not our own. Okay, it's gonna go flat here. Well, not flat, but it's gonna straighten out here in a moment. And now we can go 99s. Haddad still on the wheel. Vatsek still on the wheel, and the others are pushing on. 4.5K. Gels. And we come out front, and we've caught that front rider, and it's 3K. Montez can start sprinting. It's still slightly downhill through here, so he can go flat out. Flat out, flat out. Put the others under pressure. 1.5K. 1.5K. Haddad leading out for Vatsek. Montez has a chance to win the stage. Montez is going to win the stage. We're going to make it number 5. Carlos Montez. Vatsek takes second ahead of Pogacar. We would have won the stage anyway, even if Montez did not escape off of Haddad, who got 15th, by the way. 29 riders left. There could have been some GC manipulation there, and we did this with a negative race day condition on pretty much the whole damn team, except for Montez, who went on and won this stage. Only 2 remain, so let's just get it done. Portugal or Denmark, both good additions. And it's going to be Portugal. That was our 13th snowball of the year. That was our 8th Grand Tour snowball of the year. Having a phenomenal season with a team that is not yet super capable. Remember, our top 3 guys are only 5 stars. Hagelin was better than every single one of them, and we don't have him on the roster this year. Vatsek's good, but he started slow. He's now snowballed 5 times in the last month and a half. after not having a single win prior, and in all 13 times as a team, has been an incredible season. Only 3 5-star guys, Vatsek being one of them. Lind and Shaw are the other 2 5-star guys. Lind has won once, entire career, snowball wise. Once. That was this season. Shaw, our fastest man on paper, has never snowballed. Not once. He has raw pace. He just does not have the accompanying attributes to complement it to do anything. And he should have won a stage earlier in this race that we ended up getting on the podium. But remember, we had the sprint situation where at the time I didn't see it at all. I had to look back in the editor, and I didn't even see it at the time. I forgot about it, rendered the video, was posting it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I looked back at it later, get into the editor, right? So he was in line. I had clicked his lead out guy, I think it was Harasim, click sprint on him, and then I dropped the mouse down and I clicked sprint on Shaw. I moved the mouse away. All in less than 1 second from that click, and that moved the mouse away, and having already said something, right, as it all plays out, in that less than 1 second, Montez is dropped from the group and everything shifts. And even though I clicked first, and even though I had already moved the mouse away, and you can see the movement of the mouse going away before the Montez shift happens, the shift is what registered, so we don't get the click. So Shaw, who probably would have finally won a stage, finally snowballed. It doesn't happen. Does not happen. So he still has no snowballs to his name. Lind has only 1. And Vatsek started the year slow, but he's turned out to have a pretty good year now, and he's accounted for more than a third of all the snowballs this year. This time, though, for the first time at this tour, it's not Vatsek. He gets second. It's Montez with the victory. The Montez victory could come with a popularity boost. Just 29 riders in the final grouping, others losing time. Haglund amongst them, Pidcock amongst them, Danny Martinez, a lot of guys losing some time in the end on this one, especially guys that were in the breakaway, and it does change the top 10. We're now suddenly down to 8 riders in any sort of within 9 to 10 minute range contention. Winter now in 9th at 11 and a half down. Pidcock drops to 10th at more than 11 and a half down. Van Wilder, Evenepoel, Utschabrooks moving up. Haddad is now 17th, and Montez is now 20th. Winter should be wearing the under 25s though, and he's got like an 11-minute advantage or a 5-minute advantage over our 2 guys. Montez was 4 seconds ahead at the end of that stage, but Vatsek gains another 2 seconds by finishing second, with Pogacar finishing third, 2:56 now the separation to them, but it's 7 minutes to the next guy. So we're still 4 minutes plus following that stage. And we're going to be heading on to 16 next, which is another mountain stage. We do have another time trial at 20, so all of the action is going to really lay out between, obviously, 16 and 20 on that one. But so far, so good, and that was with the negative draw. If we can get the +4s or 5s for the next couple of mountain stages, give ourselves a decent chance of hanging on. But, of course, this, as far as mountain stages go, was pretty easy. But for the points, Vatsek is now 5th for the KOM. Vatsek still leads. He did not pick up any points at the end on that one. That's okay. Remember, we barely held on over the top. We were down to no energy whatsoever. Or was that... No, that was that here? Or here that we had no energy left? I don't remember which one it was. But either way, remember, we barely made it over the top. But Montez coming back really helped us out on this one. In fact, he ended up taking the win at the finish. But getting that descent with just a little uphill right at the finish, all you had to do was get out front and then just maintain. Young riders, yes, 442. Haddad, Montez, both on the podium, which is fantastic. But Winter is way too strong. And of course, we're not writing for Haddad. We're not writing for Montez. We are writing for somebody who sits second overall. It's going to make it that much tougher for them to overcome. But all things being equal, we're doing a hell of a job. And between the trio, right, our three climbers, we've now got a 22-minute advantage in the team competition. It would be nice if they treated this more seriously in the game as they do in real life. I mean, team classification is very much an important one and comes with benefits. There's no financial bonus. There's no points bonus. There's no prestige bonus. The sponsor doesn't care. It's here for our viewing and nothing else. We are well on our way to winning the team classification, at least at this point. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.